Why Americans refrigerate chicken eggs, while Europeans don't. American eggs would be illegal in Europe. European eggs could never be sold in the US. Technically, they are absolutely the same. They're laid by identical chickens, but they are processed very differently. The USDA requires all commercial eggs to be washed. They're always sanitized before being sold, but the European Union takes the opposite approach. EU regulations explicitly ban any cleaning of chicken eggs. Both approaches have their logic. In Europe, this supposedly encourages good husbandry on farms. It's in the farmer's best interests to produce the cleanest eggs possible. But the USDA says some eggs will still be dirty. Most of the dirt comes from chicken manure. This poses a food safety threat. There's always a potential for cross-contamination. That's why USDA requirements are no less explicit. Egg producers must wash chicken eggs with warm water. It must have a minimum temperature of 90 degrees Fahrenheit. An odorless detergent must also be used. After washing, the eggs must be rinsed with a warm water spray. It contains a chemical sanitizer. This removes any remaining bacteria. Then the eggs are dried to remove excess moisture. This process makes the eggs safe in terms of bacteria. However, it also destroys the cuticle. It's a liquid coating around the shell. The cuticle naturally protects the egg against contamination. According to European regulations, the cuticle provides an effective barrier to bacterial ingress with an array of antimicrobial properties. So Europe prohibits causing any damage to the cuticle. That includes washing or sanitizing the eggs in any way. American egg producers used to compensate for this. They would spray eggs with a thin layer of mineral oil. Today, this practice is almost obsolete. It's only used on about 10% of commercial eggs in the US. All this farm stuff happens behind the scenes. What consumers see is the end result. This is the most apparent distinction between European and American eggs. It is, of course, the matter of storage. In Europe, eggs are stored on unrefrigerated shelves. You can see it in any European supermarket, but you won't see it in an American grocery store. They always keep eggs in refrigerated units. This is also a matter of law rather than preference. EU law stipulates that eggs should in general not be refrigerated before sale to the final consumer. Cold eggs left out at room temperature may sweat. This puts them in danger of being contaminated by bacteria. The USDA, on the other hand, says eggs should be stored at 45 degrees Fahrenheit or lower. Since European eggs are unwashed, the cuticle protects them from bacteria. American eggs are washed, so the risk of contamination is higher. There's one final reason for this difference. European farmers vaccinate their hens against salmonella. This practice has been common since the 1990s. In the US, vaccination is rare, so refrigerating the eggs also protects them against salmonella. Most American consumers have never thought about it. Neither have the Europeans. Indeed, Europeans often refrigerate eggs at home. Were you aware of this distinction?